Well, good day fellow shooters, Jasper here today with you from Sporting Shooter Magazine, and today we're bringing you a look at the new Browning X-Bolt 2. Basically a facelift on the old X-Bolt that we all know and love. So we're going to go through, have a look at some of the features and whatnot to give it basically a facelift on what was already a well-proven rifle. So some basic specs of this gun. This is the Ovix Speed model. Ovix refers to this new camo pattern that they've utilised on their stock here. This one here they've given to me in a 300 Win. It's got a 26-inch barrel. We've got the muzzle brake on the end here. That is a M13 by 0.75 thread. In the box they've also just given me a cap so you can remove the muzzle brake if you want. Here this finish, it's a Cerakoted finish, what they call smoked bronze, which I think it complements the stock really nicely. Now this one here, the 300 Win, it comes in a 1 in 10 twist rate. A whole barrel here is free floating and it's bedded back at the action here. Now the overall rifle without the scope and that is just over 7 pounds or about about 3.15 kilograms. With the scope we will be looking at about 8 pounds, around that 4 kilo rifle for a stalking rifle. I should mention as well here, of course, with the Speed model, you've got this slim down barrel. It is a 6 fluted barrel. You know, it's designed to keep the weight down. Obviously the downside of that is if you're running multiple rounds through it, it is going to heat up quicker than a heavier barrel, but again, it is designed as a kind of a hardcore mountain stalking hunting rifle. So apart from, you know, your sighting in, your load development, you shouldn't be putting multiple rounds through it. So some of the things that they have changed and updated with this X-Bolt 2, in the action itself they've added about 1 millimetre of material to the top here, to your mounting face, just to give those threads a bit more meat. Now they've come across here with this whole new redesigned fluted bolt, as well as your bolt handle has also been updated to give it a more ergonomic feel. So probably the biggest and most noticeable update of the X-Bolt 2 that is going to draw people's attention straight away is the new Veritech stock, I should say. The beauty of this stock is it's got a 3-way adjustability. So it's got an adjustable cheek piece here, adjustable length of pull, and a replaceable grip. This here has got currently the sporting grip on it, and in the box here we've also got a vertical grip, which just brings this forward a little bit. So that is the complete rifle, basically disassembled, ready for either adjustment or a full clean with 4 basic tools. To change this grip here, which we've got our vertical one, it's just simply one little Phillips head screw in there, which hopefully this one is small enough. It's like a P1. Simply remove that or unscrew that. That will drop out, and a new one should slide in. That tightens up nicely, and that's it. So there's your grip. Okay, so the trigger adjustment, we're going to do it while we have it all apart here, but you can actually do it with the stock still on the rifle just by removing this trigger guard. You can access. So it's a single stage adjustment with this trigger, which is just simply this one Allen key here that has this little bit of red dye around it. So factory preset on these is about 3.5 pounds, and you can adjust them back to about 3 pounds. So I'm going to back it off all the way. So that's your trigger adjustment done. It's as simple as that. So now we'll set this aside and we will move on to the cheek piece height adjustment and the length of pull adjustment. So you've got these 2 small holes in your recoil pad here. You simply push your Phillips head screwdriver through them and you will locate 2 screws. Alright, for the sake of it, we're going to pull this all the way out. This hole, which is the provided Allen key that they give in the box, This one here is for your cheek piece adjustment. This is quite a long thread because it actually is tensioning the spring. Once you have that thread undone, it will slide back and up. Now, as you can see here, we've got these little marks here, they're 1/8 inch adjustment, and that's what allow you to move it up and down. That's your tongue and groove system that locks in, which means once you have it in there, tightened up, there's no possible way for it to come loose. Now, to access the positions to put these spacers in, we need to remove 1 and 2 screws here. Then that simply slides back, and now hidden in here, basically on the back side of that mould, as you can see, on the inside there is where the other 2 spacers live. They just sit in there like that. So there's 2 in there from standard, so we're going to put 1 back in, sits in there like that, and then push it forward and reverse the process. And there you have it. That's a fully, I'm not going to say customized, but I'm going to say optimized to suit your individual needs. Very cool design by Browning. Kudos to them. I do like that. And as you can see, when it is all adjusted back together, it just looks like a nice sporting stock. With this safety system, I will touch on it. So with the safety on here, we've got this button on the bolt that you can actually depress, and you can cycle your bolt through with your safety remaining on. That's just a handy feature, you know, if you are hunting in a situation where you want to hunt with a round in the chamber, if you're, you know, crossing any obstacles, fences, whatever, that's just a really simple way to remove the round out of your chamber, and you just know that your safety is always on. Now, Winchester's been kind enough to send us 5 different variations of ammunition to test through this rifle. There's a couple of boxes here of 150 grains as well as 180 grains. There's a mix of soft points, ballistic tips, match loads. Well, of course, the rifle's guaranteed to MOA. That barrel is getting quite warm now. I'm not quite sure what to make of that. I also wonder if it's got something to do with the barrel warming up. It helped a lot letting that barrel cool down between shots. Yeah, okay, so that made a huge difference. This is my last 5-shot group. We look at 2 touching here, another one, you know, 3/4 of an inch off. We've spent 2 days up here kind of shooting it on the range, and what I have found is that the barrel, especially this Speed being the ultralight fluted barrel, it seems to be very sensitive to heat soak. I guess that's just the nature of it being a light hunting rifle. You know, it's not designed to be putting multiple shots down range in quick succession. So it's just something to be aware of when you are doing your load development, that you do need to let it cool down between shots to get accurate data. In saying that, we've got, out of our selection of 5 different ammunitions here, there was one that was the standout for me, which is this one here, the Deer Season XP. That one to me was the standout. Outside of that, the other one that performed reasonably well for me, funnily enough, was the old original PowerPoint. It got me just on that kind of MOA spread. And then the other one that I did actually think would perform well and ended up working okay was this Copper Impact here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is not a bad way to wrap up my last morning with the new Browning X-Bolt 2.
the Ovix Speed being this model. I've had... There's deer running off there. I've had a lot of fun with this rifle, and I've really come to like it. It's been a real pleasure to hunt with. It's, you know, I've carried it around now chasing red deer through quite a few properties, chasing fallow, all kinds of terrain. You know, the red deer, that was everything from big open valleys to super thick scrub, and it's been a fantastic rifle. The quality of it, the finish of it, the way it shoots so beautifully, especially with the muzzle brake on.
Well, there you have it, folks. There's the new Browning X-Bolt 2. I hope that I did a pretty comprehensive walkthrough of kind of the new features, the new designs, and any updates that they've incorporated into this new model. We did a pretty thorough teardown and put together of the rifle. So yeah, hopefully we covered everything for you guys.